Hello, everyone. I'm John Hewko, the General Secretary of Rotary International. And as many of you know, the Rotary year ended this week, and the 21-22 year is just beginning. Now, the end of the Rotary year is not just a time when we close our accounting books, but also a time when we welcome new leadership at the club, district, zone, and international office levels. It's a time when we thank our past Rotary International president for his leadership and take an opportunity to learn from his experience and to look ahead to the initiatives and vision of the incoming president. And so this year, I'd like to give a special note of thanks to Holger Knaack, to you, Holger, for navigating us through this unprecedented year. Over the past year, COVID-19, of course, has consumed all of our attention. It's stolen lives and livelihoods. Yet I think it's also given our organization an opportunity to adapt and to change. And Holger, you helped set the direction to help this organization adapt and respond to these very, very difficult times. I know when you stood on the stage in San Diego in January of 2020 and talked about how our organization needed to adapt and change, I think you certainly didn't envision what happened next, and who would have thought how relevant your theme, your message was for this past year. I'm sure it wasn't the year you had expected or planned for, yet you led by example. You adapted quickly to our virtual world and spent your days on Zoom leading our organization by speaking to Rotary members and Rotaractors across the globe. And I think it's probably fair to say that you have probably spoken to and reached more Rotarians and Rotaractors than any other president in our 116-year history. I like to say to the present nominees when they receive their nomination that focus is really critical. You can try to do a lot of things, but the reality is that you'll be remembered generally for maybe one or two initiatives or focus. And so I think, Holger, you're going to be remembered as the president who helped guide Rotary through this historically challenging time. In fact, one of the more challenging times in our history, and helped accelerate the change we need to make as an organization. So thank you, Holger, for all that you have done.
Well, thank you, John. It's a pleasure to be here, of course. In addition to my thanking you for all the support you have given to me in the past, I want to thank all the Rotary staffers who have risen to the challenge this year, working from their homes, not just in Evanston, but in our offices around the world. You all have worked harder than ever before with greater challenges, and I appreciate the way all of you have stepped up and made our success possible.
Well, thank you so much, Holger. And again, from your mind, it was a real pleasure working with you and the Secretariat and supporting your efforts and that of the board and the Rotary Foundation trustees. And of course, we're also joined by the new 2021-2022 Rotary International President, Shekhar Mehta, who is joining us from his home country of India for this live ceremony. Welcome, Shekhar.
Hi, John. Hi, Holger. Absolutely a pleasure to be on this call from different parts of the world.
Well, thank you again for both being here. Holger, as I noted in my introduction, you've had a remarkable year as our president, and we're looking forward to hearing about your experience and your advice, what you've learned through the course of your presidency. And of course, Shekhar, we're excited to learn about your very robust, aggressive, and comprehensive plans for the coming year. So perhaps, Holger, we could start with you by perhaps discussing a little bit your experience as the president of Rotary International. You made change a major theme of your presidency, going again all the way back to the International Assembly in January 2020, just before the COVID pandemic began to rage. And of course, a lot of changes happened in the last year and a half. So which parts of this change did you find most surprising and least surprising as you look back over your presidency?
Yes, John, the most surprising aspect was simply the experience of being in the same place every day. but still seeing Rotarians from around the world. I didn't expect to become the first fully virtual Rotary president. And it's a good example of being very careful of what you wish for in life. So Susan and I have stayed at home instead of spending many hours on airplanes, and we missed the one-to-one encounters and very much wish we could have seen all of the great service projects in real life. And something else has been surprising is what we have also achieved is a new closeness online. I think all learned how to make connections and strengthen our connections virtually. And we have so many more opportunities to participate around the world. Yeah, in smaller meetings, probably a Rotary president would usually have the ability to attend. It has been a very different but very rewarding experience. And what is least surprising to me is that Rotary was able to change with the times. I did not expect the change to be so rapid, but I fully anticipated that Rotary would need to embrace the digital world and would need to adapt to generations that felt disconnected to our old club traditions. So I hope we have learned something from this experience that will become a permanent part of Rotary, how Rotary operates in our clubs and worldwide. The world will not slow down for us.
No, I couldn't agree with you more, Holger. The world will not slow down for us, and that's where I think your theme of Rotary opens opportunities was so important, so apropos. So, what ongoing opportunities do you see for our organization as we move, hopefully relatively soon into this new post-pandemic world?
Yes, John and Shekhar, I have always framed these opportunities in two ways. Opportunities for ourselves and for the people we serve. We know, of course, the importance of Rotary service. That's always number one. And we know how important it is to end polio, and the pandemic underscores just how powerful a virus can be. If we do not finish the job, polio could return around the world much sooner than any of us anticipated. And if we can use our polio know-how to help the world become vaccinated from COVID-19 as soon as possible, we can help end this pandemic and save lives. All of our areas of focus are about creating opportunities for people to live in healthier environments with economic opportunities, healthcare, and education necessary to build better lives. I think the pandemic also demonstrated to us the importance of building opportunities for ourselves. Rotary values and ethics are needed in the world more than ever before. And we need our four-way test as a tool for self-reflection so we can make better decisions. And we need to be able to trust each other, show tolerance, embrace diversity in a meaningful way, and to make friendships. If anyone didn't understand the importance of friendships before the pandemic, they do now. And Rotary can help people build those kind of friendships with people around the world. That's an opportunity many people appreciate more than ever.
Well, you certainly missed the opportunity to travel the world as previous Rotary presidents have. But what memories of your sort of energetic, nearly nonstop outreach online will stick with you? Will stick with you most? I suspect you started early in the morning in one part of the world, and by the evening you'd sort of circumnavigated the globe in terms of your speeches and appearances. What most will stick with you as you go forward?
Yes, John. I have always loved the question and answer parts. It's much more interesting than always having a monologue. And it can be challenging, of course, but it always gives you an insight into what Rotarians are really interested in. And here you can see how different the world is. Through these different questions, you can see how different the Rotary world is. And it has been the most fun with Rotaract. So Rotaractors are so excited about their new status in Rotary, and their interest in where they go from here is overwhelming. And I'm so impressed that there is a lot of interest in diversity, equity, and inclusion improvements everywhere, and that Rotary's important role here is well understood.
Well, Holger, again, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experience as the president of Rotary International. And again, we look forward to seeing you and Suzanne a little bit later in this program.
Thank you, John. And I want to congratulate, of course, Shekhar as our incoming president and wish him all the best and luck in the next year.
And now I'd like to bring back our next guest, the current Rotary International president, Shekhar Mehta. Welcome to your first day as Rotary International president, Shekhar.
Thanks, John. And thank you, Holger, for those wishes. Thank you so much.
Now, Shekhar, your theme for the year is "Serve to Change Lives." Could you perhaps tell our viewers a bit about the thought process that went into that theme, the meaning of the theme?
So, John, people join Rotary for different purposes, but they stay in Rotary for a long time because of the attitude towards service. I joined Rotary when I was only 25. Service was the last thing on my mind. But as I visited projects, as I got involved into the projects of Rotary, as I started it, caring for others, sharing with others, thinking of other people before I thought of myself, I think that's when service became an important part of my life. Service is something, when you do more of it, it grows on you. It becomes a way of life. So much so that my guiding mantra itself has become, service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth. So over the years, service has become a very important mainstay in my journey in Rotary as well as in my life. So it was very natural that when I had to select the theme for the year, service would be a very important part of it. And when we wanted to turn it into an action, service became serve. And what happens when you serve people? When you do eye surgeries for them, when you do heart surgeries for them, you change their lives. So it sort of fitted very well, serve to change lives. And if you see the theme logo, it has a hand. So in this part of the world, when you give, this is how you keep your hand. Your hand for giving is this way. So that's the hand. And on that, you see the globe with different colors. That's the diversity of the people around the world and diversity of Rotary also. So that's how it came. Yeah. Serve to change lives.
Well, and of course, the ability to serve, as we all know, is also a function of our membership base. And the stronger that our membership is, the more impact we can have, the more we can serve and make a difference. I know you're going to place a sort of special emphasis this year on growing Rotary. Perhaps you could just tell us a bit about your plans for each one. Bring one, and what would be your thought to share with Rotarians about how we can continue to grow our membership and to grow our organization?
So, John, it's very important for any organization to grow. In this changing world, the membership organizations with a bent on service have not really been able to keep the membership very high. We've not done a bad job, but I think we need to increase. And I see there is an opportunity if we try. And I was not happy that for 20 years we have not really been able to grow. So I thought a time has come when we need to try and use a different approach. And to me, the approach was that the collective goal may seem to be too big, but can we break it down to an individual goal? How about making growth an individual responsibility? Bringing in a member be an individual responsibility of the 1.2 million people that we have. So all people need to do is each one bring one. And that, if you see, is not a difficult target. Anybody around the world can normally find one person to be brought into Rotary over a period of 12 months. All that person needs to be done is reminded that yes, this is a job that I need to do, and do it very happily, because somebody made me happy, gave me the gift of becoming a Rotarian. Let me pass on the gift to someone else. And as we do that, there is a great opportunity for diversity. We can get younger people into Rotary. We can get more women into Rotary. And not just get members, engage them. Keep them in Rotary. So I also say each one bring one, keep all.
Right.
So that's how we would want to grow. I can promise you, if everybody around the world kept just the promise of getting one member into Rotary, I'll keep the promise of taking the membership to 1.3 million.
Well, I mean, I guess you are following in the footsteps of Holger and sort of promising a very, very aggressive year of change in Rotary, from Rotary Days of Service to emphasis on empowering girls, which I personally find an extremely exciting initiative. Can you tell us what sort of behind your philosophy of change, particularly perhaps a bit about the Empowering Girls initiative, which again I said I'm very excited about, and I think it's going to be a huge intervention, truly going to make a difference in the lives of many people.
So, John, I kept thinking, what is it that we need to work on? And as I discussed with the board members, we came to a consensus that probably empowering girls is something that we would like to work on, because this is a problem not just in some parts of the world, but most parts of the world. It varies. The problems vary from different parts of the world. It is unfortunate that even in today's day and time, girls are discriminated and disadvantaged. The degree of discrimination may vary, but it does happen. Whereas girls are half the humanity. They should have half the opportunities. They should have half the rights. But that's not so. So it's important that we empower them. And there are different ways of empowering them. It's important that we raise a voice about empowering girls. So the first thing we need to do is create awareness, understand what the problem is, create awareness about it. As we create awareness, there's going to be a voice that's going to be raised, and it should travel far around the world. But mere raising a voice won't help. So we need to do programs and projects and then be able to share those stories. Once we do that, that'll be the best way to raise the voice. Different types of projects for girls around the world. It could be for their hygiene. It could be for their health. It could be under WASH, where we have gender segregated toilets for girls in schools. In education, how about sponsoring girls, sending them back to school, or scholarships to girls. There are different programs that could be done around the world. And when we do these programs, can we share them with the world? It's very important that we not only do the work, but we share the story, so that the people around us become aware of it. They want to participate also. The public also should participate. Non-Rotarians should be made aware, and they should also be happy to participate. And that's why we have Rotary Days of Service also. Not only empowering girls, but any other program that the Rotarians do, a meaningful project be showcased through the local community. And that's when one or more Rotary clubs, Rotaract clubs, or Interact clubs and the Rotary Club would come together, showcase their wonderful work to the community. Two things happen. The community understands the meaning, the brand of Rotary even better. They understand who we are and what we do. And on the other hand, they may get interested in joining Rotary also. So that's why there is a merging of empowering girls as well as Rotary Days of Service. And Rotary Days of Service in any case can be a great program for showcasing the work in the different areas of focus, even apart from empowering girls.
Well, thank you, Shekhar, for sharing your thoughts and your vision for this new Rotary year. I think it promises to be quite a year. So Rotarians, let's buckle up and let's really do it. And now I'm happy to bring in some special guests. Shekhar, I'd like you to welcome your partner Rashi to the program, and we'll also bring back Holger to join us along with his partner Susan. So thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you, John, and congratulations to Shekhar and Rashi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Susan. It's a pleasure to be with all of you.
So Holger and Susan, Rotary has been such an important part of your family, including the many generations of youth exchange students who've had the opportunity to pass through your home. Perhaps you could tell our viewers why youth exchange has been such an important part of your lives.
You know, Holger and I, as a childless couple, feel like we have children from all over the world because of Rotary Youth Exchange. They have become a permanent people in our life, and we feel that we have learned even more from them than we have given to them. The exchange with young people, whether with students or Rotaractors, has broadened our horizon. It helps to look at the world and life from different perspectives. This is something I hope more families will get to experience and appreciate. Being part of our youth exchange program is more rewarding than you can anticipate. Through the Rotary Youth Exchange and New Generation Service Exchange, you learn about completely different cultures and have completely different impressions. It's fantastic.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. It's fantastic, and it's wonderful that you personally have introduced so many young people to Rotary, and that you've built such powerful, cross-generational friendships. It's really inspiring the way you've sort of broken down the barriers and continue to do so. Rashi, you and Shekhar have had a deep commitment to service through Rotary for a very long time. What has that meant to you and to your family?
A very relevant question, John. As far as our lives, our personal growth, and our understanding towards the sufferings are concerned. Both our parents were very active members of Lions. So we had the opportunity of visiting various service projects with them at a very young age. This helped us develop a compassionate heart, I think. We live in joint family, so our parents, being Lions, perfectly understood and appreciated what we were doing in Rotary. Similarly, our children joined us at various Rotary programs, be it service or fellowship, since childhood. So I think Rotary played a role in their development as better human beings. Both have very sensitive hearts and perspective towards others. In the words of my son Chirag, he grew with a third sibling called Rotary. So friends, this very well sums up the impact of Rotary and service in our family.
Holger, perhaps I could just turn to you for a second. Are there any pieces of advice you'd like to share with Shekhar from your year as Rotary President?
Thank you, John. I think Shekhar doesn't need my advice. And he also understands the importance of change. So I'm totally sure he will keep this momentum going. I just hope, or we just hope, that he and Rashi get to enjoy traveling the world and use of the President's condo and office in Edmonton more than Suzanne and I have had a chance to.
Well, Shekhar, we're getting the condo ready, and so as soon as you're able to travel, look forward to welcoming you and seeing you here, you and Rashi here in Evanston. And Shekhar, any words you would like to leave with our members as we enter a new Rotary year?
John, I am amazed at our organization. 116 years of history, footprints in more than 200 countries, and a legacy of nothing less than nearly eradicating a disease from the earth. It's a huge organization with great impact. So my message to all the Rotarians is, for the coming year, let's grow more and do more. Grow more as I said, each one bring one to see that we reach that target of 1.3 million and do more, as in doing bigger, better, bolder projects. And of course, seeing it through the lens of empowering girls. While we do all this, let's have fun. Let's enjoy Rotary, because fellowship is one of the core values on which service, leadership, all are dependent. Let's do it as we serve to change lives.
Couldn't imagine a better ending to this Facebook Live event. Grow more, do more, and have fun doing it. Fantastic message. And so I'd like to thank you, Holger, Suzanne, Shekhar, Rashi. Thank you so much for joining us for this special virtual changeover ceremony. Huge thanks to all the Rotarians and non-Rotarians who are watching us. Good luck to all of you over the next Rotary year as we continue to open new opportunities as we serve to change lives. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Thank you all.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks, everyone. Bye.